Good morning, good evening, or indeed good afternoon, and welcome to Pit Road Productions, or indeed Swelio Almeida's YouTube channel as well, here for the Almeida Racing Academy, or indeed the Almeida Racing League, sponsored by Podium One. We're here for Season 4, ladies and gentlemen, round 3, and we're going to be at one of my personal favourite tracks. I know it's not one of our producers' favourites, that's for sure. Never has the best of luck here at Sebring, but what can I say? It's an absolutely fantastic circuit, and we're going to be here today in, not the Formula 4, ladies and gentlemen, I managed to catch myself before I fell over this time, the Formula 3. Certainly going to be a fun one, certainly a lot of history here with this track. It's got a little bit of concrete in the infamous Sunset Corner. Rich, why don't you tell us a little bit about this wonderful circuit? You're looking mighty thin there as well, Rich. I got to say, it's the Pit Road Productions diet is definitely paying off.
I lost about 30 pounds in the last 2 weeks, Zippy. So thanks to our wonderful producer, Rob Campbell. So I really appreciate the diet advice. As we all know, Sebring is built on an old, I believe it was World War II runway and airport for the war effort. So it is bumpy, and it's bumpy by design. The owners of Sebring have deliberately not smoothed out the bumps. That makes part of the track, that makes it interesting. We've got a lot of technical sections. We've got the infamous Sunset Bend ending off the racetrack. That's turn 17 corners through this track. It's going to be a very interesting race.
Absolutely, and certainly I think this is going to be one as well where we had the endurance format last time around. We're back to the usual, the 15-20 minute one. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, memory not the best thing I can say on the Zippy repertoire, but I've got to admit we have requested some championship points. We got a few. We don't have a graphic for you this week. Certainly seems like there's a bot that does weird and wonderful things, and it's currently having a little bit of interference over at the academy. But we'll give you a little bit of a shout out for those points. But right now, let's take a quick lick. Oh my gosh, look to see who's out and about on track. Certainly some good names, some familiar names as well. As we see here, who have we got there now, Richard? That appears to be the number 8 car of Brian Lenz.
Yeah, Brian right now is out there battling. We are just a couple of minutes into the 15-minute qualifying. As we're watching around, following along with Brian. Looks like a beautiful day at Sebring today, Zippy.
It sure does indeed, and there we go. One of my favorite colored cars. It is indeed Team Green. Gotta say, it's definitely a biased opinion, but Rich, I gotta admit, last week was definitely one of the combos. It probably would have been my favorite combination that we're going to see so far this season. Sebring, Formula 3. How do you feel about that? I know you're a bit of a hot shot in the open wheelers.
Yeah, I raced for several seasons in Formula 3. That was kind of my introduction to the open wheelers. It's a good combo. Nice flowing track, some high-speed sections. You've got the little S-turns, twisties going on there. It's going to be a really interesting day. I think Leon Benfelsen, as we watch along here, Leon, one of the crowd favorites, always brings his own fans to the broadcast. We love to see them here. Watching Leon coming up through the early sections of the course, just rounding around, it looks like, I guess, turn 3 or 4. Leon going down into the hairpin here. This is always a nice technical section. Good passing opportunities here for the drivers.
Absolutely, Rich. And I gotta say, Leon Benvelsen currently 4th place in the top split for the championship points with 196 points, about 3 points ahead of Mahid Rahman. But right now, the driver leading that standing is indeed Vijay Rajasakaran. He's out there at the front. As I say that, he's not yet put up a qualifying time. A couple of these drivers just currently, doing an outlap, trying to get things there on the move. As to see Sammy Hendricks currently the quickest one by quite a good margin, I'd say, in this field, about 0.2 of a second. But very quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to verbally do a couple of points for you. Right now, Rajasakaran, he's about 60 points clear. Well, technically 52 points, Zippy map at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. But Garrett Lund, definitely one of the most unfortunate drivers I've seen here in the Almeida Racing League. He's currently in second with 209. Anthony Lanassa just 3 points behind. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep a close eye on those two drivers. Garrett Lund, is he actually here today? Is he in the session? Rob. Certainly Anthony Lanassa as well. Not yet seen him up on the qualifying board. See Marco Chacon, we saw him quite potent last week at Spa, getting caught up with a little bit of an incident though. Not the race weekend he was looking for.
Yeah, you always want to be able to finish the races. You're not scoring any points if you're not finishing, as we like to say. That's kind of my specialty, finishing the races. But when you're in the top split, finishing isn't enough. You've got to actually do some good racing, get yourself up to the front as we follow along with Fernando Alfonso.
Yeah, certainly Fernando Alfonso. Actually, they used to bring a cheerleading club as well. Fernando, where is your cheerleading club? I remember. I'm trying to remember which track it was, but it's certainly was it Aragon, Rob? I think you'd remember this a little bit better than I am. But we had the M2 going around, and they must have gone 4 wide going into turn one. It was absolute chaos, and that's where I can remember Fernando certainly standing out. Certainly, I think it might have even been round one of season 2 here for the Almeida Racing League. But he's one of the novice coaches, ladies and gentlemen. Sammy Hendricks, definitely a very interesting character both on and off the track. I've not seen a car yet that he won't bumper off, but currently he's having a pretty good day. He's there in P4, and I was saying earlier about Garrett Lund and Anthony Lanassa. Well, right now, Lund's just gone pole. Lanassa's about 2-3 tenths back in fourth. This could be what Lund needs to try and secure a couple of points up further in the championship. As you see right now, he's about 52 points behind Rajasakaran. Sorry. Can he capitalize and score some good points there?
Well, while that's going on, we've also got Cairo Enns. He's just 1/100th behind Garrett Lund. So Cairo, always one of the crowd favorites. We get a lot of fan support. He gets a lot of fan support on our YouTube broadcast. So nice to see Cairo having himself a good qualifying effort this far.
Yeah, Canadian Cutting Edge, a good friend there of Cairo Enns. If I remember rightly, that's actually Cairo's father, Trevor Enns. Now, I'm going off memory here, ladies and gentlemen. We know how good that is, so certainly take that with a pinch of salt. But good to see Cairo. He's up, he's out, and not only that, he's currently in P2. And you can see here, trying to capitalize on that draft right ahead of him. That is exactly what you have to do. As we see Leon's wife has now entered the chat. Aurum, welcome in. We know who you're going to be cheering on. The number 23 car of Leon Benvelsen.
Yeah, Leon Benfelsen coming around. It looks like he's going around through the early corners, the 3, 4, 5 complex, entering up onto Big Bend coming up. Leon, always crowd favorite. Leon having himself a good effort so far, sitting 6th place in qualifying.
Yeah, definitely a good spot to be in, ladies and gentlemen. And indeed, in the field, so strong, so tough, and indeed so demanding. It is quite the accomplishment to indeed get such results. As I actually got it right. I was close. I got half of it right. It's Jake Enns, ladies and gentlemen, Canadian Cutting Edge in the chat, and that is indeed Cairo's dad. So fair play to him. I do wish my dad had actually watched me race. But fair play, my mum actually does sometimes as well. Yeah.
We've seen you race, Zippy. I don't know if we do.
Yeah, fair play. Actually, I'm taking part in the Spa 24-hour this weekend, and it's fair to say that that's going great. We've been in last a good portion of the race. We got murdered in lap 1. We got murdered again a couple more times before I got in the car. And then what did I do when I got in the car, gentlemen? Well, I realized that the pits is not the exit there, and I span it in Blanchimont my first time round. So it is going very well, ladies and gentlemen. So if you would like to improve your driving, please do not listen to any guidance I have to offer on technique. Obviously, that's a total crock of it. Certainly, if you want to improve, check out the Almeida Academy, ladies and gentlemen, or indeed the Motor Racing Checklist. Both of them very valuable resource indeed. We're going to have a little bit of a ad break from Swellio during the warm-up. Check that out. But by all means, if you want to compete in this league as well, we do get asked that quite a bit. You do have to be an Academy member. Check that out as well. SwellioAlmeida.com.
Yeah, if I was looking for some driving assistance and coaching, I certainly would lend myself towards Swellio Almeida and the Almeida Racing Academy rather than the Daniel Zippy Salmon Academy. So we're going to pick it back up. We've got Cairo Enns has now dropped down to 4th place. He's just 1/100 behind Declan Marsden. Vijay Rajasakaran, no surprise, has moved up to the front of the qualifying efforts.
Yeah, he's definitely a potent driver. Certainly at his debut, it was the worst start he possibly could have had. He had a hardware failure at Alton Park, and to be fair, we haven't let him live him down. But right now, that hardware is definitely working very, very well. Currently in P1 by almost 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, VJ is he's always got the pace. He never disappoints. You're going to have hardware failures. It's a mechanical, physical being, these cars, even in the virtual world. So bad things can happen to good people and good racers, just like the real world. That's what makes it a sim.
Yeah, actually, I come to think of it, I think I may have had a hardware failure on my first lap in the Spa 24-hour. I think that may have been the case. If I can identify it as hardware.
It could have been software, it might have been the brain there, Zippy, but we're going to pick it up. We've got Anthony Lanassa sitting in 6th place right now. Anthony has shown great pace this season. I believe you said earlier he is the current points leader, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm wrong, so be it. You'll call me out on it, Anthony,
You're
in the
wrong.
beautiful black car there.
You're wrong. Currently, he is in I think it was third place. I will double check for you though. If I'm going to roast you for points, I'm going to do it right. He is indeed in third place right now, Anthony Lanassa. He is 3 points behind Garrett Lund, who's currently sat there in second. So he's going to see him 2 cars ahead of him. Now, we've seen Lanassa. He has indeed been potent. Garrett Lund definitely not had the most luck. John Morandini, whereabouts is he in the standings? He's definitely a little bit further down the order. Let's take a peek here. Currently, he has 64 points, so it's fair to say he scored more than I ever will, but definitely a lot of work to do if he wants to get a podium for this season.
Yeah, I don't think either of us would be in this split to begin with, Zippy, so we don't have a whole lot to say in this, but Leon Benfelsen is going along. He's in 9th place, but as we've seen Leon before, he doesn't necessarily qualify near the front, but Leon certainly has some race pace, good racecraft, and we usually see him moving up towards the front.
Absolutely. I can see Jake Enzo in the chat. I think there will be a lot of wrecks today. Those bumps are going to throw some cars a bit loose. I'm absolutely inclined to agree with you on that. Certainly, if I was driving, it definitely would be the wing would be more for an aero purpose, as in like taking flight, rather than getting some downforce on the ground. But actually, speaking of which, Mr. Enz, he's currently in 20th position overall, ladies and gentlemen, for the for this series. And why am I saying overall? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is indeed 2 or 3 splits going on. 3 splits, if I remember rightly. Yep, 3 splits, and that puts everybody there into the mix. So right now, the actual outright winner, outright leader right now is Urs Müller, who we saw last season, I believe, if not the season before, in the top split. He's currently got 263 points. So even though Radin Sakaran is winning split 1, he's second overall. If we have a look a bit further down those overall standings, you can see the next familiar name is going to be Garrett Lund. He's in P9 overall, Anthony Lanassa in the top 10. But I want to actually scroll down to where's it gone now? P18 in the overall standings. And why am I doing that? Well, that's because it's CR Reed. As I say that, it's just moved. Thank you very much, gentlemen. All the points have just changed.
They're just doing that to mess with your mind.
Excellent.
It doesn't take a whole lot, but that's okay. We got Garrett Lund. Jeremy Childers, we haven't seen him yet today. Jeremy sitting himself in 23rd, looking for a little better qualifying effort, but you know, qualifying is one thing, survivability is another. Jeremy Childers looking to improve. If he doesn't, he's going to have to move a long way through the field.
I'm just going to put a request into Connors as well. Please get your points man to stop tweaking during the show. As I was saying, looking at... Oh, I'm going to cut you off there, Richard. I'm doing it. Sorry, I want to give this man a shout out because this is the reason you guys have me in iRacing for so long, so you can blame him. But ladies and gentlemen, in 18th place, from the information I have right now, we're going to go with that, is Mr. CR Reed. He's currently competing in Split 3, and if I have a look there, he's currently P6, P7 in Split 3, but 18th overall in the championship. And you're wondering how many drivers are indeed in the whole thing? 102, ladies and gentlemen. So I gotta say, that's nothing to shake a stick at.
No, certainly not. And it's nice the way they do the overall points, dividing it by splits. So even if you're not one of the faster paced drivers, your consistency and your racecraft is certainly going to result in a good final totals comparing yourself against the top split guys.
It's kind of like PAX if you do an autocross. So they can have a much faster car, but if yours is gutless and then you get that PAX multiplier, you can technically beat them. And I'm very much okay with that.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done autocross, Zippy. I'm a little older man now, and but I used to do a bunch of it back in the day. We're following along here. Mahid Rahman doing a good job, sitting 6th overall right now, and we are down into the final minute of qualifying. Sammy Hendricks coming on board. He's in 10th.
Yeah, that's a pretty good run by Sammy there. And you can see one of his Team Blue counterparts there up ahead of him. Now, Sammy Hendricks is probably one of the biggest team players ahead. It's Matthias Kuhn. He's going to be there. He's currently in P21, so definitely he could probably do with a little bit of having a tow himself. We're only 1.2 seconds off the leader. Actually saying that, Anthony Lanassa now is leading on the pole. Excellent news. Not so good for Garrett Lund, though, as that indeed does bring qualifying to an end. Fantastic stuff. Lanassa able to sneak that away in the closing stages of qualifying. We're going to get ready for a grid. Do we know the team points in this split? You leave that with me there, Jake. I'm going to go through the grid, and I'll see if I can find it for you. Anthony Lanassa, though, takes P1 and Vijay Rajasakaran in second. Garrett Lund is going to be on the second row in third, with Declan Marsden, the Welsh driver, in fourth. Cairo ends a huge cheer from the crowd from his father there, is in fifth, with Mahid Rahman in sixth. Amin Alishai is in seventh, with Leon Benbals, and definitely the crowd favourite in P8. Marco Chacon for Team Raccoon Racing takes P9, with Sammy Hendricks and his coach in 10th. John Marandini in 11th, with Sean Haggerty closing out your top 12.
In 13th, we have Martin Visser, followed in 14th by Brandon Hung. Then we have Joel Singleton, followed by Adam Mika. Fernando Alfonso is in 17th, followed by Jan Janchik in 18th. Then we have Kevin Adrian 19th, Simon Collier in 20th. Matthias Kuhn in 21st, followed by Brian Lenz in 22nd. Jeremy Childers is 23rd, followed by Juan San Manquil in 24th.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, and if you have a look at 25th, we got to have the coaches sneaking in, and we got 3 of them here today, ladies and gentlemen. It almost feels like Robot Wars. We've got Sir Killalot, Death Metal, and Shunt have indeed joined the joined the race. That must take you guys back a bit. You definitely old enough. You would have enjoyed that. Actually, come to think of it, I think Robot Wars. I can see our user getting into that a little bit too much. I can see him enjoying that. But a quick update there on the teams. Currently, Team Blue is leading the race with 1,455 points. Team Black is in second with Team White in third. Team Green takes fourth with Team Red, sadly, in fifth with 1,135 points, ladies and gentlemen. But we are indeed going to get ready to go for the first race here at Sebring. There's going to be about 15 seconds left to go. I gotta say, it's gotta be a bit of a reminder here. Cold tires, ladies and gentlemen, cold tires. As indeed, you can see Barney is up there. He's got the green flag. We're gonna get ready to go. Suspense. The lights are going on. Foot to the floor. Let's give it some more, ladies and gentlemen. They are indeed away. You see Lanassa, they're absolutely hard on the gas as they're going to absolutely slingshot their way down towards turn 1. You can already see the field going 2, if not 3, if not 4 wide further in the back, ladies and gentlemen. High risk, high reward seems to be the strategy there. The coach is almost in a bit of a formation as one of the green cars there. I think that was Garrett Lund getting a little bit loose as they head down turn 1. Right now, Anthony Lanassa in P1, Vijay Rajasakaran in second, and in third place, Declan Marsden.
Yeah, we managed to get through the first 3 corners. Looks like relatively cleanly at this stage. We're following along with Garrett Lund. Garrett Lund going down through Big Bend, coming up towards the hairpin. Garrett Lund sitting in 5th place right now.
Well, it definitely looks like he's trying to make his way back up. He started in P3, and right now the hard charger appears to be Kevin Adrian, ladies and gentlemen. As I say that, he's fighting currently in a battle for P16. Rajasakaran, though, he's been toppled off that top spot, and what we have seen so far is if the lead driver can manage to pull away, generally they do get a bit of clean air. Now, Rajasakaran, usually one of the quickest guys in here, but Lanassa able to pip him at the qualifying. But you got to ask, did he do that with a draft? Is Rajasakaran indeed going to be able to catch up and indeed challenging for that lead? As I see Connor Bell moving up some more positions as well, as is Kane Halliburton, ladies and gentlemen, as it looks like Jeremy Childers has dropped back to the back of the field, down 4 spots so far.
Yeah, the Almond Straight is going to make a big difference here, Zippy, as we take the Almond Straight entering into Sunset Bend. That's where the draft's going to happen. That's where VJ is going to really look to close up here as we follow along with VJ going down the Almond Straight.
At the minute, that gap is currently about 6 tenths of a second. You can see here, Rajasakaran, the number 12 car, is indeed able to pull in. He's closed in about 1/10 of a second. Not huge errors. You see Garrett Lund making a move up on the inside of Kyra Dens there as they head around Sunset. Now, the corner, famously known for having 50 million lines through it, as Kyra Ends running very wide there. That looked like he grazed the wall. We're going to have to take a quick look at the damage, but definitely maybe a little bit of net code on our end. Maybe a little bit keen, as you see now, Ends fighting back as he makes his way on the inside of turn 1.
Yeah, Ann's doing a great job taking that alternate line around the wide outside. Now we're going to follow along with Garrett Lund trying to hold off Cairo Enns, and it looks like he's not going to. Cairo Enns going up the inside, but fighting right back as Garrett Lund up on the curb, but that curb cost him.
Yeah, it looks like Mahid Rahman thought about putting a nose in as well and then thought better of it. Are we going to see a bump draft here? Certainly not. It looks like Sammy Hendricks is the only guy who's keen to do that. But right now, Garrett Lund is going side by side with the number 16, of Mahid Rahman. As you see, this is exactly what Cairo Owens is hoping for. If Mahid Rahman and Garrett Lund keep fighting behind, he may get a little bit of free air. Lund almost losing the nose coast there as Mahid Rahman tucks his way into 5th.
Yeah. We're sitting here at Sebring. Sebring, lots of different places for passing opportunities. Drivers making the most of it. We're watching here. We've got Mahid Rahman going up the inside. He's battling hard, and looks like Cairo Enz and him are going crazy here, racing, battling for that fourth and fifth position here.
Yeah, certainly a close battle. Oh dear, Cairo Enz goes up on the right front to the left rear there. I think he may have gotten away with it. Sometimes these Formula cars can indeed be forgiving, but it does drop him back a couple of positions there, down into P8. But it looks like Sammy Hendricks has now been able to capitalize on that, as has Leon Benvelds, the crowd favorite, ladies and gentlemen. We know he's keen, we know he's primed, but can he make his way up to the podium there? So you see a little bit of a wide line there from Hendricks. Now, is Benvelds going to get the double draft, ladies and gentlemen? You see he's tucked in behind Rahman, he's tucked in behind Lund. Is he going to be able to get it done? No, he pops his nose out, and Lund are able to capitalize and hold on. Now trying to make a move on the inside of Sunset. Two packs of two wide, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way around the final turn.
Yeah, it looks like Leah may have pulled out just a little bit early, tucked back in. We go 2 by 2 through that corner, and everybody's surviving. No position changes to this stage, but these guys are battling hard. Leon Benfeld's in up 1 position, but Sammy Hendricks ahead of him, up 4 positions. We're watching here. Mahid Rahman going 2 wide, going around the corner 1. Wow, look at these guys race Zippy. This is some exciting stuff. Taking all of the track and then more. We got Cairo Enz. It looks like he's using all of the dirt.
He's definitely keen. He wants to try and make his way up further through the pack. And you know, we were saying a little bit earlier about how if the leader can get away, that's exactly what I want to do. And that's what Lanas has done so far. He's pulled a 1.8 second gap. You can see him there trying to run away. The Team Blue cars behind Reda Sakaran and Marsden trying to hopefully capitalize on that. But we are indeed going to return to the battle that is for 5th place. Well, 4th, 5th, and 6th, ladies and gentlemen. As you see there, Enz now under attack yet again. Amin Al-Shahi looking to try and capitalize on that. But right now, the leader of this pack, 4P4, is indeed the number 16 car, a previous champion here at the Almeida Racing League of Mahid Rahman.
Yeah, Mahid Rahman having himself a good season and doing a good job right now, holding off Garrett Lund, Sammy Hendricks, Leon Benfelds, and we've got a big train all behind him. Looking at Sammy Hendricks following this train. Sammy has done himself a good job so far, up 4 positions.
Actually, speaking of good positions gained, currently right now, Connor Bell would be the hard charger with 12 positions gained. He's very quietly snuck his way up into P13, ladies and gentlemen, doing a fantastic job. Again, if you want to go and see him, he just compete in NASCAR Canada. I believe it's a road series as well. Forgive me for not knowing a bit more about that, Connor. I do know he was at the Bywood Market last week, certainly downtown Ottawa with that car, and I think he's just got a new race suit as well. So by all means, if you want to see the Connor Bell fashion line of race suits, ladies and gentlemen, by all means check him out. But you can see that he's hot in the draft. This time it's going to be Martin Visser who's going to be next on the chopping block, looking to try and make a move as he's trying to make his way around.
Yeah, we're following along a little bit further back, looking at Kane Halliburton. Kane Halliburton trying to make a move on Sean Haggerty, going up the inside. A little close, a little touching in these bumps here. If you're on the inside, it's very bumpy. Kane Halliburton doing everything he can to avoid hitting Sean Haggerty ahead of him.
Oh dear, something's happened with Reda Sakaran. He was up in P2, P3. We're going to have to take a look to see exactly what happened as he's here making his way down towards Sunset.
Coming around through the Sunset. And he looks like he just got on the binders a little awkwardly, or maybe applied a little too much throttle, and the back end just came around. Luckily he hit nothing and he's back on track.
Yeah, that definitely could have been a lot worse, but it has moved him down 11 positions down into P13.
Pick it back up. We've got Mahid Rahman now up into 3rd place following along. Mahid is down a little bit of space here. He's got a 3-second gap to Declan Marsden ahead, but Garrett Lund all over the back of him.
Absolutely. You see, that battle was for P4, P5. It now is indeed for P3, ladies and gentlemen, as Leon Benvelds currently resting in P6, up 2 positions from the start. Ahead of him, Sammy Hendricks. He's gained 5. The most positions gained by a non-coach driver here so far. Hendricks looking with something to prove here at Sebring.
Yeah, we also have John Morandini. He's up 4 positions as well. So we've had some relatively... Well, let's take a look and see what happened on the replay here, where we got Brian Lockwood going into the corner here. Oh, and a big spin ahead of him. And wow. That was Singleton getting caught up in all of that, it looks like.
Can we get a cleanup crew to aisle 5, please? Cleanup crew, aisle 5. As you can see there, a little bit of carnage. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Gets it looks like he got into the back of the car ahead, and it just caused a little bit of chaos and panic. And sadly, Brian Lockwood definitely He got a full bite of that sandwich. Right now we see Cairo Enz is yet again getting into battles there, ladies and gentlemen. He's keen to fight today. I've not managed to see any damage on that car. As you see there, hugging the wall, he's going to get a great entrance there. Amin Al-Ashari leaving a lot of space, not going for the squeeze as they make their way down towards turn 1.
Yeah, going down into turn 1, I've raced here many times. Not necessarily the best, but you've got two alternate lines. You want to play defensive, you go on the inside. You want to get aggressive, you go on the outside. But Cairo ends on the inside, but oh no, and he takes out Amin Al-Ashari. It looks like, oh my goodness, big move that did not go well.
Yeah, definitely going to need a replay of that one. Unfortunate there for Cairo Enz, but the good news is they will indeed be a second race. He may have actually got away with that on the damage side. Let's have a quick look from Amin Al-Ashari. You can see there, it looks like Enz maybe caught a little bit of curve. Al-Ashari gets flipped up a little bit there, but if we could go on board with Enz, I'm kind of curious to see. I'm pretty sure he caught a bit of curve and it just got a bit more rotation. Here we go. Here's the exit of turn 1. He's making good progress there. Gets there, goes into the braking zone, hard on the brakes. I think he just get a little bit of a lock up there, and that's what caught him out. Easily done.
Trying to brake while turning, a little bumpy, and that is the end result, unfortunately. But we're going to go back on board. Leon Benfelsen. Leon sitting in 5th right now. Leon having himself a good race, but he has got charging Sammy Hendricks in behind him.
Yeah, Hendricks is definitely going to be a person who will indeed... he will turn the heat up there. As Morandini actually looking to have a little bit of a piece of the 27 car, getting right up on that rear wing and definitely applying the pressure, but it's compromised his exit speed there. But here's the thing as well, we are seeing the draft has an effect, but just how much, ladies and gentlemen, going down the straight, if you've got a train of cars, you're all indeed going to go faster compared to going solo, but I don't know if you're really able to get much of a leap ahead when the car ahead indeed has a bit of a tow as well.
Yeah, it's you kind of got yourself in a little draft train going down the main front pit straight. Not a whole lot of changes going on. You really got to take your opportunities in the corners. Lots of corner sections here. Whoa, going way wide, getting a little bit loose, but managing to hold on to it on the back of the pack. It looks like that may have been Martin Visser.
Definitely one of the newer drivers. I think we've just seen him join the league this season round. Certainly, they may have indeed been in split 2 or 3. And you see there, Jake Ken saying he must have had damage. He's in the pits now. Yep, definitely I would understand that. He definitely had a couple of little grazes there. But right now, Connor Bell, he is indeed the hard charger, up 15 positions, ladies and gentlemen. And indeed, I guess at this point, maybe one of the surviving coaches not to get caught in an incident. Kane Halliburton currently back there in P25. You see Brian Lockwood, he got caught up in something earlier, still up 9 positions. Overall, Raja Sakaran has been able to recover slightly. He's currently there in P9, but definitely down 7 positions. He's going to have a lot of work to do, but if we exclude the coaches, ladies and gentlemen, the current hard charger is indeed Martin Visser with 5 positions gained in P8.
Yeah, Martin Visser doing a great job of moving up through the field, taking advantage of some of the misfortunes of others. But we've got Vijay Raja Sakaran here. Getting a little bit close there was Connor Bell, and Connor Bell is applying all kinds of pressure to VJ, almost going wheel to wheel. Well, they are going to wheel, but almost touching here. Oh, and VJ going off track, going way wide. 2 alternate lines there, but he went a little further than normal.
Yeah, I think that technique, I'm going to call it the mind punt, ladies and gentlemen. And certainly he did indeed manage to get into the head, as Yan Cheek has managed to pick up a black flag, ladies and gentlemen, in 18th place. Certainly he's the only driver I've seen who's ever been given a vacation from the Almeida Academy. Fair play to him, definitely an award that you maybe don't want to try and achieve, but I do wonder if that's on incident points or if indeed he has a slowdown he hasn't managed to serve. As Garrett Lund right now getting in a really good scrap here with the 23 of Leon Benfelsen, and look at Lund sliding that car. You can almost see the thing 4-wheel drifting around turn 1.
Yeah, Garrett Lund doing a tremendous job, but Leon Benfelsen wants none of it. Leon charging hard, trying to make up that position. These guys are battling hard. We're looking at 4th and 5th here. They're a couple of seconds off of a podium position, but there's no sense giving up yet. They're charging hard. Leon Benfelsen looking on the inside as they're coming down. It tucks it back in, going into hairpin.
I'm just trying to decipher again the emojis in chat here, so forgive me. I think it's orange heart for Dutch, white heart for Team White, another orange heart. It might just be me. It seems like it's a slightly different shade, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Another orange heart for for like Netherlands. Then we got a lion, which is associated with the Netherlands. Actually, I got to be honest, I don't really understand that because I don't think I've ever heard of a lion hanging out in the Netherlands. Fair play to him.
Well,
And then that last one, I think that is indeed the Netherlands flag. If not, I'm hungry because I know that it's the same color as the packs of bacon we have here. Thinking Ole Mel.
No.
Nothing against you guys. I guess I'm just food motivated at this time.
Yeah, I'm a little hungry myself, Zippy, but we're going to pick it up. We've got Brenton Hung, and Brandon just up one position. Brandon trying hard. He's trying to battle along with Matthias Kuhn, who is up 9 positions on the day. Matthias having himself a great race thus far.
I'm told that the lion is Leon. I'm not going to disagree with that. Actually, that makes more sense. That
Leo,
makes more sense.
yes.
That's coming from Jake Enns. There we go, Jake. We're going to have to get you in here at this rate. You probably do a better job than I'm doing today. But right now, Garrett Lund, he's there in P4. His championship rival, actually, so Raja Sakaran is a good number of places behind. That's good news for both Lanassa and indeed Garrett Lund. But right now, Lund's biggest competition is currently in P1. Not a lot he can do about that, but right now he is indeed trying to hold on. It's Lund versus Bentvelsen, about half a second in it, but it looks like the closest battle on track right now is for back for P12. It's Matthias Kuhn between himself and Brenton Hung.
Yeah, these guys, their battle continues on now, but we're running out of race time here, Zippy. I'm not sure how much is left. We must be on the last lap by now, I think, because we are over 14 minutes into this 15-minute first race. We got Barney here out there. He's already waved the white flag. Barney looks like he's back in business and working hard in this season 3.
Well, I'm told that the lion is the Dutch national animal. I've got to admit, I think it's cool. I've just never seen one. But don't get me wrong, I've not really traveled that well. We can tell of all the people who are going to be worldly here, I'm probably not going to be one of them. But I can see that Connor Bell has been black flagged. I do wonder if he's done that as a self-black flag to put himself back through the grid for the next race, as he appears to be completely fine, and I haven't really seen him get caught up in too many incidents either. So I'm going to say that's probably an admin enforced black flag there, just to put him back out on the grid. As regardless of that, he's made his way up into P8.
Yeah, while all that's going on, Anthony Lanassa, a dominating performance as Anthony's coming down the Almond Straight. Just one more corner to go, Sunset Bend. In order to take this checker flag, let's follow along with Anthony Lanassa. Dominating performance. He's gone from a pole, coming up to take the checker flag and the victory in race 1.
Absolutely stellar drive by Lanassa, and that's exactly what he's going to need for the championship point side. A good amount of points gained on both Sakaran and indeed his competition with Garrett Lund. They were 3 points separating them between them earlier on, but now he's just managed to secure some more in the bag. As Matthias Kuhn there, he's been going at it with Brenton Hung and able to get that position secured as he comes across the line in P12.
Kevin Adrian coming across the 15th, and we've just got a couple more drivers left with Brian Lockwood sitting 17th place, missing a bunch of parts off that car, and a little difficult to drive without a front or a rear wing. Fabulous job just getting through it as we follow along while he has that. No, man, that's a drift car there, Zippy.
Well, the way that car is beaten up, it makes me feel better looking. That's how much damage has occurred to indeed the vehicle of Brian Lockwood, that number 28 car. But I guess we should take a look at the unofficial results here for the first race here at Sebring. Actually, we've still got a couple of drivers making their way across the line. Who's this down? The number 8 car, Brian Lenz for Lenzy. I mean, it depends. It's tomato, ladies and gentlemen. As there you go. There goes Barney with the white checker flag. It's just a checker flag. Joel Singleton, we saw him get caught up a little bit earlier. Fantastic pile up. Fair to say, these things happen. As you see him there, bringing across the line, making his way for Team Black.
Yeah, and Fernando Alfonso is just closing out the last of the racers on the lead lap. Very long lap around here. It's close to 2 minutes, so it takes a while to get people through.
Close to 2 minutes. I'd say 2.5 if you're driving, Richard. But certainly, Fernando Alfonso definitely. That's it. You get some teams where they're supportive of each other, they encourage each other, and we just do it a little bit differently here, ladies and gentlemen. As you see, Yan Yanchik, who did also get a black flag, we just see him make his way down pit road for. He's currently resting there in Oh, he was in P19, but that indeed has closed the session, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to fire through this one pretty quickly here. I'm hoping Connor's going to put a grid timer on it. As a result, Athlete Lassa took P1, pulling a 3.8-second gap over Declan Marsden for P2. Mahid Rahman in third with Leon Bentwells and crowd favourite in P4. Garrett Lund takes fifth with Simon Hendricks in sixth. John Morandini in seventh. Martin Visser in P8 with Vijay Rajasakaran falling from the top two and into P9 with Sean Haggerty closing at your top 10. Matthias Kuhn, he was 11th for Brandon Hung, a good battle there for P11 with Adam Mika taking P13. Kevin Adrian, not seen much of him today, he's in P14 with Amin Elashai in 15th. Lockwood takes 16th with Jeremy Childers there, getting caught up earlier on in 17th. Fernando Alfonso in 18th. Yan Yan Cheek in 19th, and closing out your top 20 was Brian Lenz. And the last couple of stragglers there, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, you can see there, that's why Connor Bale black flagged himself. You got Connor Bale 21st, Joel Singleton 22nd, Kyro Owens 23rd, Marco Chacon, Kane Halliburton, Van San Miguel, and then Simon Collier. That is your results there from race one. Here's the grid, ladies and gentlemen. Rob, please keep an eye on those lights for me. Vijay Rajasakaran is going to start at the front of the pack with Martin Visser in second. John Morandini in third with Sammy Hendricks in fourth. Garrett Lund, he's going to like that. He's starting in fifth with Bent Belsen alongside in sixth. Mahid Rahman takes seventh with Declan Marsden in eighth. Anthony Lanassa in ninth, and Sean Haggerty closing out your top 10. In P11, we had Matthias Kuhn with Grant Hung in P12. Adam Mika is going to take 13th with Kevin Adrian alongside in 14th. Amin Elashai is in 15th with Brian Lockwood, a coach, alongside in 16th. Jeremy Childers in 17th with Fernando Alfonso in 18th. Yan Yan Cheek starting again in 19th with Brian Lenz, or Lenzy. Jury's out on that one in 20th with Connor Bell on 21st. Singleton 22nd. Cairo Ends, definitely unfortunate for him. He's going to be starting 23rd of referee with Marco Chacon alongside for Team Raccoon Racing in 24th. Oh gosh, there's more. Kane Halliburton's in 25th with Jean-Zan Miguel in 26th. And Simon Collier, the UK driver, in 27th. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that indeed was a mouthful as we're getting ready for the lights to go.
It was definitely a mouthful, Zippy, but we're getting ready to start here. We've just got a couple of seconds left, and these drivers should be underway in race number 2.
Yeah, definitely. I think you should probably start us off on this one, Richard. I don't think I've ever seen you do that yet. So you've just been put in the hot seat.
I don't know if we want that today, but no, thanks a lot. We appreciate that. Always nice to be called upon to do something you're not expected to at the last minute. We're still waiting for these lights. It looks like we've got a little bit of a delay on the start of this one. I'm not sure what's going on here. We got about 15 seconds left before we get underway. Looking at all the cars, looks like all the cars but one may be on the grid at this stage. Just a couple of seconds left before the lights go up.
Brian Lockwood not yet took to the grid, and they did indeed hold the start for us, and thank you very much, Connor Bell, for doing that. Richard, do the honour, sir. Second race here at Sebring.
Well, Zippy, it looks like we've got a little bit of delay, longer than the 15 seconds we were expecting. Vijay Rajasakaran sitting right there on the lead, looking for a little bit of a redemption after race one's a little bit of a spin and bobble. I expect to see him charge a little hard and avoid making the mistakes he did in the last race.
What I am seeing here is we've got a discussion going on. Apparently we got a... Fluja is saying that the seagull should be the national animal of the Netherlands. It's there's so many of them there. To be fair, seagulls, where I'm from, nobody tends to love a seagull. I'd stick with the line if I was you. Richard, here we go.
We got the lights up here. As they start to light up here, we've got Vijay Rajasakaran ready to go. All the drivers, and a great start for Vijay. Vijay getting the jump on Martin Visser. We're going 3 wide and back in the midfield, but it looks like Vijay's got away cleanly and is going around the outside with Martin Visser around the outside in behind him. Looks like all drivers going through 2-3 wide in the midfield. Everybody getting through clean thus far, but Vijay Rajasakaran taking a good jump over Martin Visser, going 3 wide through turn 3. Oh my goodness! 2 outside cars squeezing together. Garrett Lund managing to avoid, and everybody maintaining their pace and moving forward. Oh, a wing going off in the very back, Zippy.
Yeah, that was definitely a gold-coloured wing, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta be honest, I am so surprised these guys made it through that 3 wide. I was waiting for the absolute pile-up to follow. Let's find out what happened. That's an interesting line there. Yeah, that's a solid 5.9 there with acrobatics there from Marco Chacon.
Yeah, Marco had a little bit of a crash in race 1 and a crash to start race 2. Not the day he was looking for. Pick it back up. We've got cars battling hard still. This lap one has been very exciting. Zippy, I don't know. It's just a bunch of craziness. Everybody wanting to move up, but there's only so much track space available.
Well, what I can tell you is that Connor Bell was the casualty gold wing that indeed died on lap 1, turn 1, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely not what he was looking for. Brian Lockwood is showing up as a crash warning as well. He's currently still running, though, doing about 150 kilometers an hour. So we do have to wonder what exactly happened there to our coaches. But certainly Brian Lockwood's still very much in it. And not only that, he's got a battle on his hands with Mahid Rahman right now. He's there in P5 and looking to try and make his way further up and onto the podium.
Yeah, Mahid Rahman having himself a great season thus far, and Mahid sitting there, he's got himself a little gap. He's about half a second behind Sammy Hendricks. But let's take a look at what happened to Kane Halliburton here earlier on. It looks like they're coming through the last couple of corners leading onto the Almond Straight, and wow, it looks like he was getting real close and just kind of pulled off there. I'm not sure what happened, Sid.
That looked a lot like a hardware failure. As I see, we got a crash warning for both Yan Cheek and Cairo Enns, and it's fair to say he's not going to be getting the hard charger with that one. We'll have to take a quick look at the replay, maybe from another angle, go a little bit further back perhaps, as right now Sammy Hendricks currently resting in P4. The top 4 undisturbed in their order, almost the top 6, but Mahid Rahman has snuck in there. Let's find out exactly what happened to Cairo Enns. He's there, he's on the right, going around. You got 3 team red cars in a row, and just gets a little bit late on the brakes, I guess. Has the front tack ribbon over one of the team red cars. It's fair to say that's going to be a pretty catastrophic result for his race today.
Yeah, that would involve Yan Cheek, I believe, and that was rather unfortunate. The 2 red cars getting together. It looks like a little bit of concertina effect on lap 1, as that can often happen, and Cairo just caught off guard.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to hopefully that both of those drivers are indeed very civilized. Certainly, we've seen a couple of personalities indeed need to be adjusted at times, ladies and gentlemen. And mine probably included as well. Maybe need to dial it down a little bit at times. But you know what? I'm still here, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much for that, indeed. Again, you notice as well how some people, you know, we're all about cheering each other on. Puro Productions now, we absolutely tear a strip off one of each other in the nicest of ways, ladies and gentlemen. As I got to admit, I did wonder if it was just the drivers who were lighting up at the start of this race.
Oh my goodness. We're going to pick it up with a fan favorite with his own emoji cheering section, Leon Benfels. And Leon sitting in 6th place, following along behind Mahid Rahman. You're making it real difficult. I mean, look at this draft train we've got going down the Almond Straight. Just incredible. Look at all these cars lined up, pulling out a little bit, and we going up the inside, taking one of the alternate lines, trying to make some advances as Leon hitting those bumps hard. The bumps throwing the back end of that car up, but Leon Benvelsen showing his experience and his capabilities, keeping that car on all 4 wheels, pointing the right direction.
Indeed, hear the sound of crashing things, and yet I can't see them. I'm hoping it's just netcode, ladies and gentlemen, but indeed it is getting busy, as it looks like we're going to go 2, maybe 3 wide there, heading down into turn 3. Thankfully, they thought better of it. Sammy Hendricks is going to be on the outside of Mahid Rahman, now on the inside, outside again. I got to say, this is one of the things I love about Sebring. He's almost licking the exhaust pipe there of the number 16 car, and he's coming up to the prime passing opportunity, but Ben Velsen's there on the outside. Can Ben Velsen make his way up the inside? They go 2 wide. Oh, a late move there from Marsden or Hendricks. I'm not sure which one it was, and Ben Velsen has had his nose very briskly removed. Definitely that one will indeed be an incident for the stewards.
Yeah, it looks like Leon Benvelsen's going to need a rhinoplasty after that incident, Zippy. His race is pretty much over at this stage. He's just going to try and get that thing back to the pits because he's going to have no pace at all. Pick it back up. We got Sammy Hendricks still, though. These 2 drivers battling hard. It's my goodness. Look at this, 3 cars going into a spot for 2 places, and nobody willing to give up an inch of room here, but Sammy Hendricks maintaining a lead through those corners.
Yeah, Hendricks can indeed put the elbows out, and he's got Marsden right behind him. And I say that, it looks like Garrett Lund looking to fight a bit more. Both of these, when you're running a pack this close at these kind of speeds, you definitely got to trust the drivers there. As you can see, Garrett Lund looking to try and capitalize on that. The Formula 3, obviously, big slide there from Lund. I got to say, 4-wheel drifting, he is the man today. Thankfully not lost too much speed, but right now he's got Lanassa right behind him. Now remember, coming into this race, Lanassa was just 3 points behind him, if I remember right, 3 points between him regardless, and he's going to be very much keen to capitalize on that. Lanassa did manage to finish the first race in P1. He would have got a good haul there. As right now, he's battling there with Mahid Rahman behind him.
Yeah, here we go, going down the front pit straight. Look at these drivers, they're battling hard. We got we've got all kinds of issues. We're coming up the inside. Inside's a good place to make a move, but you've got to be able to hold tight to that wall. And it looks like not able to do it, and no real positions changing, but battling hard. We're going 3 wide coming into the section. There's only room for 2 cars. Oh, wisely backing out of it, Mahid Rahman.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought we were going to see some friendly fire. This is where communication comes in key. If you work together here, you can indeed capitalize that, as Matthias Kuhn is joining into that battle as well. One of the Team Blue cars. It is very much a green and black, and now we're going to have blue, ladies and gentlemen. I always feel it should be red, black, and blue if these guys start making contact. As we see smoke, as I say that, that is indeed one of the cars. That's Mahid Rahman is absolutely falling down. Sammy Hendricks as well. Huge incident there in the hairpin.
Yeah, that was not what they wanted to have from a team perspective. That's rather unfortunate, and just a little bit of a spin, and off goes the nose. Another rhinoplasty. The plastic surgeons are going to make a lot of money today.
I gotta be honest, Rich, I think plastic surgeons always make a lot of money, but sadly it's going to be noses they're going to be fixing today in the Formula 3 here, as it looks like Kevin Adrian's got caught in something as well. Now I do wonder, did he get caught in that incident as well? It's showing that he's got a meatball flag. Simon Collier's got a meatball flag. Couple of drivers. Kevin Adrian currently resting in P9. I do wonder if he did indeed get caught up in that incident there. Because right now, looking at the car, honestly, that doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, I don't see any damage there either, Zippy, but which is rather good news. What, Zippy?
I thought I saw something at the left front there, but maybe I'm just getting excited.
I think you're just getting excited. Car looks fine to me, but my eyes are older than yours. As we watch, coming around 2 wide here, we got Brian Lockwood going up the inside. Brian Lockwood trying to make some moves, trying to hold off. And now we got 3 cars going 3 wide going down the straightaway, Zip.
What could possibly go wrong? You got to ask yourself the question here. As Kevin Adrian is very wisely going to back out of that and just try and follow in behind Lockwood. Definitely a good plan there, as it looks like Alfonso looking to try and capitalize. Certainly we've seen Alfonso and Adrian come together before. I do wonder if it's going to happen again. Alfonso Keen making a move up on the inside of turn 3. Can he make it stick? He's going to be on the outside for 4, on the inside for 5. And yes, he has indeed managed to move that 24 up and around Kevin Adrian. I do have a feeling he's nursing damage. We can't see it on the broadcast, but my timing's still telling me himself and Collier have meatball flags.
Yeah, Brandon Hung up 6 positions. Brandon Hung in a great battle with Anthony Lanasa. Meanwhile, we're following along with Collier. Looks like Collier may have had an incident going on here, coming up into hairpin, and there's just nowhere to go. He was just stuck with 2 cars parked on the racing line there.
Yeah, I do have to wonder if my timing screen's not updated. You saw the nose cone detach and then reattach there, as right now we're on board with Anthony Lanasa. Right ahead of him is Brandon Hung, the Hong Kong driver. He's fair to say he's doing very well, considering obviously there's going to be this beautiful thing called ping here, ladies and gentlemen. And fair play to him, his connection's actually been really good. And not only that, he's been able to deliver a good couple of solid results today. Brandon Hung getting in some good battles, having a good time here at the Almeida Academy. Right now, as I say that, the commentator's curse has no effect on that one. I'm going to complete ignorance on that one as Hung goes around and backs it into the wall.
Yeah, you gave him the kiss of death, Zippy. Ping makes a great set of golf clubs, but unfortunately for Brandon, that was not to be. Right around, big circle, and lost the front end and the back end. And these downforce cars don't work too well when they have no downforce.
Yeah, I gotta say, that was definitely a bit more than a ping there, Richard.
Yeah, the Yan Cheek looks like he may have had a little bit of incident. Yeah, the back end coming around, but managed to keep it on track. We saw Yan getting into a little bit of incident earlier in this race.
I think that may have been Hendricks there mowing the lawn for a second.
Yeah, everybody's using all the track, and Sammy using all the track and all of the grass here. Maybe he needs some of the ping that Brandon had there when he's out on the lawn.
I've got to admit, actually, I'm going to give a little bit of aspersions there to our groundskeeper. It does appear the grass does actually need mowing, so fair play to Sammy for doing his bit for the community here. But right now, Regis Sakaran has managed to make his way up into P1. Not only that, he's pulled away a 2-second gap. This is exactly what he wants to do. Try and get a couple more championship points in the bag. And fair to say, he's been pretty dominant. I do have to feel, though, Andrew Moran, I think, would be a great contender for him. We've not seen him here this season, which is a bit of a shame. He's won before. I do have to wonder if he would be getting such a free reign at the front of the field if Moran was indeed back in the car.
Yeah, Andrew Moran had a great season last season, but you know, you got to be here to win. And VJ had a little issues at the last race. He's not number one. You know, he's not number one for a reason, and he's got some pace. We're gonna pick it up. Brian Lockwood sitting in 8th place, up 8 positions. Coach showing people how it's done.
Yeah, certainly, and it does on my timing screen. It's still telling me that Adrian's got a meatball flag, so hopefully my timing is indeed wrong, ladies and gentlemen. As you see here, multiple people are getting into multiple battles, ladies and gentlemen. You can see here, looking at the timing screen, Matthias Kuhn is going to be the next one on the block for Brian Lockwood, ladies and gentlemen, as Lockwood makes his way up on the inside. Now, is that going to compromise his entrance there? You see the back end of that car starting to slide around a little bit, and Matthias Kuhn, the German driver, very much looking to capitalize on that, as he's very much in the draft. Now, can he use Brian Lockwood to slingshot himself up into the back of Lanassa here? Lanassa may indeed, well, he's going to be aware the Lockwood's coming, but is he going to bring Matthias Kuhn with him as well?
Yeah, Matthias didn't really go defensive. It looks like he let Lockwood get through relatively cleanly. You may be right, Sippy. He maybe trying to get in the draft, follow along, and get dragged up towards the front.
Oh, I've got a crash warning for Cairo Enz again. I'm hoping he's okay. We're going to leave him be for now, as it looks like, indeed, a couple of drivers here getting into some more battles. Sean Haggerty being one of them, as, oh, no, Rob's decided we're going to have a quick look at Cairo. What's happening, buddy? As, yeah, a little bit of oversteer there, and helping with the groundskeeping efforts there.
Yeah, that's not really a crash. That's just doing a little bit of landscaping at this stage of the race. But we're going back on board. We've got Sean Haggerty. Sean Haggerty is sitting there. Oh, we're going to go up to John Morandini, actually. The producer's just catching me a little off guard. We're doing a little bit of flipping, trying to find some good close battles for everybody. John sitting in 3rd place with Declan Marsden, who is in 4th, up 4 positions in behind him.
Oh, indeed. Sorry, if I'm yawning, ladies and gentlemen, it's not you. It's doing a Spa 24-hour with no practice. I just plugged the pedals in about, I don't know, I think we'd already started the race before I actually did a lap in them. So you get there. You know, you get different levels of prep, ladies and gentlemen, and it's fair to say that mine wasn't great. But right now you see
it's not really what is, that's kind of frowned upon in the motor racing checklist, Zippy, and no wonder you are not in the Almeida Academy, because you know, in order to learn lessons, you actually have to practice, as we watch Barney waving the white flag for Vijay Rajasakaran. 1 lap remaining.
You see, that's what I expect my other competitors to do, is wave the white flag and just let me have the position and go there. As you see a couple of cars there in the pits, I believe that's Connor Bell and Joel Singleton, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, I got to admit, Richard's got a point. If you do want to improve, you definitely want to go and get on with the Almeida Racing Academy. But we do have a bit of a battle emerging here between, actually, if you go back a bit, I believe it's between P3 and P4. It's Declan Marsden and John Morandini a little bit further back here. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Garrett Lund's trying to get in the battle as well. This battle for the final podium position on the final lap of race 2.
Yeah, these races are going by really quickly. Little 15-minute sprint races in the F3 on the hard to drive Sebring. But right now we've got Garrett Lund sitting in 5th. Garrett looking to take advantage of John Mardini and Declan Marsden. He's sitting in the catbird seat, hoping for some a little bit of incidents and hard driving ahead of him.
Yeah, absolutely. This could be an opportunity for Garrett Lund. It could be an opportunity here for Morandini. It'd be good to see him up in P4. Marsden, it's fair to say, actually Marsden actually in P3. Both of these drivers, you know, not too frequent there on the podium, but definitely still very competent indeed. You see Barney there. He's waving that white flag. We're going to see him to check it very, very shortly. Rajasakaran must be making his way around towards sunset very, very shortly.
Yeah, Vijay Rajasakaran coming through Le Mans, going on to the Almond Straight. VJ having himself a great race, but we're going to go right back here. Look at this battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It looks like these drivers are sitting there nose to tail. Not a whole lot going on there at this stage, but Martin Visser sitting in 2nd. He's got this one pretty wrapped up. VJ coming around Sunset Bend. VJ having a great race here, going from pole to checker.
Yeah, we are seeing that Cairo Enz definitely wasn't feeling the best about this race, and here we go. We got a battle happening all the way to the end. It's going to be a drag race, ladies and gentlemen. 3rd, 4th, and 5th in formation, ladies and gentlemen. It was indeed Morandini. Was it Morandini? It's Marsden, Morandini, and then Lund. We're incredibly close. Less than a 10th of a second in it between Morandini and Lund. Incredibly close. It's Jeremy Childers now making his way up and over the line. Definitely, he does YouTube as well, and listen out for the commentary at the start of his YouTube clip, ladies and gentlemen. You may recognize it. It sounds way better than me, despite the fact that it's me. Don't ask me how he did it.
So I guess it's in English, kind of. We're
Oh, well.
following around with the last of the drivers on the lead lap, and as this race concludes, we've got Amin Al-Shahi. He's got Leon Benfelsen with a very damaged car in behind him that has been repaired, cost him some considerable time. Not the results these drivers were looking for.
Yeah, certainly. If you've ever seen Top Gear, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like a job here at Pit Road Productions, by all means.
I think I just got fired.
Nah, we'll keep you for now. You gotta be blind, drunk, or desperate to want to share a booth with me, ladies and gentlemen. And it's fair to say that we're not going to get into which one of those Richard is, but I think his eyesight seems to be okay, and I think he's got better things to be doing with his time as well. So you can leave that up. I know he's definitely excited about a tailgate party that he's going to be attending after he's had his more senior nap after this broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. But indeed, it's been an absolutely spicy broadcast today, a fun one, as you see Juan San Miguel making his way across the line in P19.
Yeah, and that brings all of our drivers into finishing the race. Let's take a look at the results, Zippy. Maybe I'll take this one for you so you save you a little bit of breath. We got Vijay Rajasakharan, our winner, sitting in second. Martin Vasseur. Declan Marsden was third, followed by John Morandini in fourth. Garrett Lund was fifth, followed by Anthony Lanasa. In seventh, we had Brian Lockwood, followed by Matthias Kuhn. In ninth, we had Adam Mika, followed by Fernando Alfonso in 10th. 11th, we had Sean Haggerty, followed by Kevin Adrian. In 13th, we had Jeremy Childers, followed by Brian Lenzi. In 15th, we had Yan Cheek, followed by Amin Al-Shahi. 17th was Liam Benfelsen with some incidents, followed by Mahid Rahman. 19th, we had Juan San Miguel, followed by Caro Anza, lap down in 20th.
Definitely a little bit unfortunate there. As we head down and have a look at 21st, we had Sammy Hendricks there getting caught up. 22nd was Kane Halliburton with Branton Hung, who did not get commentator's curse. It was just coincidental timing, ladies and gentlemen. In 23rd with Marco Chicone in 24th, Simon Collier in 25th, and Connor Bell having a very early retirement in 26th with Joel Singleton there in 27th. Assuming I've just not messed up. Anyway, you know what we should do right now? Let's have a little bit of a quick break here, regather ourselves, regather our thoughts, and hear from the man himself, Mr. Suelio Almeida.
The racing league is growing fast. Hundreds of drivers, multiple splits, broadcasted races, and it's not just about individual winning, it's a team championship. You race with your own squad, you learn how to compete, and you grow together. And we don't throw you into the races blindly. Every week, we help you prepare with pit parties to train side-by-side battles, workshops with live coaching, 20 driving challenges with full tutorials, and even group raids into official iRacing races after the league night. For just $25 a month, this is the most complete training experience in sim racing. Join us as a member today to start your advanced training and racing with us. I'll see you on track.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, we will see you on the track. If Suelio doesn't, we certainly will. That is the joy of being part of the Almeida Racing League. If you make the top split, you do end up being on the big screen, ladies and gentlemen, not just on Pit Road Productions, but on Suelio's channel as well. By all means, if you're there in the chat, give us a shout out, say hi. By all means, why not hit that like and subscribe button as well? If you want to see more of us, yeah, by all means, hit the subscribe button. If you want to see more of Suelio, probably a better choice. Hit that subscribe button. I believe he's actually at Motorsport this weekend. So that's basically the Canadian home track, ladies and gentlemen. And he's going to be driving IMSA in that Hyundai TCR car as well. So definitely, check that out if you're there, local to him. Actually, Richard, why are you going to watch football? You should go do that instead. Way better use of your time. I mean, they call it football. They don't even kick the ball. They throw it to each other. Explain that.
What do you know? You're from England. Just what? Normally, I would actually want to go to Motorsport this weekend, but I'm a season ticket holder for the local football club, so I'd already committed before the race season was announced for IMSA.
You should be committed. You've definitely got to go and see Motorsport. Just because you're a season ticket holder. And actually, Rob's just come up with a good point. We haven't done the schedule yet, so let's take a quick look and check that out now. See where we've been, and indeed where we are going. So we started in Montreal before heading to Spa-Francorchamps for round 2. This week takes us to Sebring for round 3. Round 4 has us flying to the other side of the planet, ladies and gentlemen, for Fuji, with round 5 being Algarve. Round 6, definitely, I think this one will be popular with the number 23 car, Leon Benfelsen. It's going to be Zandvoort with the final round for this season coming to Road America. That one there, I think, is especially going to be a good race here in the Formula 3s.
Yeah, all of those tracks are really good tracks for the Formula 3 car. I've raced on all of them in this car. Not as well as these guys, but I've certainly given my best effort. We're going to see some good racing at these tracks as the season progresses.
Absolutely. I do have to wonder if I should sneak out onto the track for one of them. Certainly that would be a... which actually, one of the F1600 races I made it out and I did okay, but I can drive that. I don't know if I can drive this. Maybe we have to put you in the car, Rich. We'll have to see if we can get away with that. Certainly smuggle them in. And just in case you're wondering, you see a couple of these guys getting into incidents and stuff like that. I did attend a pit party for the F1600s, and I consider myself competent in that car. And to put it bluntly, ladies and gentlemen, I was humbled very quickly.
Yeah, and I think I would be humbled very quickly if I was racing F3 top split here. Although I certainly prefer the F3 over what the other splits get to race. So, but you know, I'd probably qualify last, Zippy, but I may finish 4 or 5 cars up because of crashes. That's my only hope with these guys. These guys are fast.
I'm trying to remember what your catchphrase that what you've got, Richard. If you're not last, you're fast, or something. If you're not fast, you're last.
I may not be fast, but I last is what I said. So.
Definitely, that is Richard Swindell's racing strategy there, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, if you'd like success, I'd say get on the Almeida Academy. It's definitely worked out a little bit better for them than it has for us. Definitely, actually, I believe. Let me think. I think it was Mahid Rahman who gained something like 2,000 or 3,000 iRating in the case of a week. Ladies and gentlemen, it's absolutely insane gains. Just put it in context, I've been on iRacing 6 years and I've not even hit 3,000 iRating. And certainly, Rob, you're going to keep quiet at this section here. But Vijay Radhasakuran is going to be your race leader with Martin Visser in second, with Declan Marsden, the Welsh driver, up there in third. John Morandini's in fourth, with Garrett Lund in fifth. Anthony Lanassa, rival there alongside in sixth, with Brian Lockwood showing in seventh, Mateus Kuhn in eighth, Adam Mika in ninth, and Fernando Afonso closing out your top 10.
Yeah, then we have Sean Haggerty, followed by Kevin Adrian in 12th. In 13th, we have Jeremy Childers, followed by Brian Lindsay in 14th. Yan Cheeks, 15th, followed by Amin Al-Shahi. Leon Benfelsen down to 17th, followed by Mahid Rahman in 18th. Juan San McGill in 19th, followed by Cairo Enz in 20th. We've got Sammy Hendricks, 21st, Kane Halliburton, 22nd, Brenton Young in 23rd, Marco Chacon in 24th. Lights going up.
We're getting ready to go, and here's the opportunity that Radhasakuran has been looking for, and it looks like he's maybe a little bit slower off the start there. Martin Visser with a fantastic start, and already we've got Carnage at the back, and that bleaks like Yan Cheek, and he's definitely thrown the teddies out of the pram, ladies and gentlemen. He is not a happy camper. I do have to wonder who got caught up with him. I believe it was Leon Benvelsen. Absolutely terrible start. We've got a spin there in turn 2.
Oh no, I think that was Fernando Afonso going up track in Cairo Enz. Martin Visser, sorry, the red car's in. Oh my goodness, we got crashes all over the place. Looks like one of the coaches is off. That's Kane Halliburton, his race day ending again. Not the kind of start we wanted to see here, Zippy, but Vijay Radhasakuran getting away cleanly. Looks like Vijay having a great start with Declan Marsden in behind. These cars are cold tires and the drivers are not learning here. We're race 3, we should know that by now.
Well, I definitely do want to see a start to see exactly what happened to Yan Cheek and Leon Benvels, and certainly we got the cheerleading section wondering what's happening. Maybe get a different view here, if you could please, Rob. They're further back in the field. I gotta wonder what happened. Did somebody just not move? And that is exactly what happened.
Oh, yeah, Yan Cheek looks like he just sat on the line and missed the start, and Leon Benvelsen hit the throttle, and there was a car where he wanted to go.
I gotta admit, that's pretty damn poor. I mean, don't get me wrong, things happen, but it's almost like he was snoozing at the start of that race. As here you go, there's a replay of the incident that ended up taking out Halliburton. More casualties through the field, ladies and gentlemen. We can already see Kevin Adrian got caught in that. Halliburton, Yan Cheek, Benvelsen, all of these drivers currently pretty heavily wounded here. But right now, it's good news here for the number 12 car of Vijay Radhasakuran. And I've got to say, a huge pack here being led by Anthony Lanassa as he's going into a battle with Mateus Kuhn.
Yeah, Mateus Kuhn having himself a good race and going up the inside. Mateus up the inside. Looks like Anthony Lanassa around the outside. Driver's going nose to tail. Looks like we've got ourselves a nice long train as they snake down the front pit straight.
Well, certainly, I tell you what, if we do have Leon Bedbells, let's try and get him here in the commentary booth. We'll have a chat about some of his more successful racing here rather than the race start. I believe he's had a good run. We'll try and get him in just a few minutes. Or if you want to give him a shout, by all means, maybe give him a hug after having a race start like that. I would definitely understand. But Declan Marsden, currently in P2, got a little bit of a gap ahead of him and a little bit of a gap behind him as well. If you can see with Red Saccharin, it could indeed be a Team Blue 1-2 for the final race of the evening.
Yeah, and all that craziness in the start, Zippy, it looks like a Brandon Hung taking full advantage, up 11 positions already. Brandon charging hard, the hardest of the non-coaches so far. Look at these guys going too wide, going the exit of the hairpin. Just a lot of sheer determination, drivers wanting to advance quickly, and that's caused a lot of incidents thus far. Connor Bell going up the inside, we're going 3 wide here. This may not end well, wisely backing out.
Yeah, I think he was going for the mind punt there. You would definitely be aware he was going 3 wide, and it looked like he wanted to try and upset the drivers alongside us. It looks like he's got the better of him, making his way up on the inside there of Sean Haggerty.
Oh, Zippy, this has been too exciting. This old man's heart can't take it anymore. I mean, these guys are battling hard and very close racing in this tight confines of Sebring. Yeah, there's wide runoffs, but 3 cars don't go into 2 places very often. Drivers applying a little bit, as you say, mind punts and psychological games, because if you can't beat them with your driving skills, beat them with your psychological skills. Connor Bell doing a great job, up 15 positions. That's what we want to see out of the coaches.
Yeah, certainly they indeed do have to prove a point. Well, they don't have to, but they certainly can prove a point here. As you see Bell making an absolutely incredible leap through the field. 15 spots. It's definitely nothing to shake a stick at, ladies and gentlemen. Doing a very good run, as it looks like he's going to make it another one there on Brian Lindsay as he makes his way across the start-finish line, heading down towards turn 1.
Wow, that's quite the impressive performance by Connor Bell in this race. Connor now, he's got himself about 3/4 of a second gap behind Anthony Lanassa up ahead. Anthony down 3 positions on the day. But we're going to go back up here with Garrett Lund. Garrett Lund having the coach of Brian Lockwood following in behind him. Garrett Lund sitting in a podium position, up 2 positions. He's in 3rd place right now.
Well, we see Lund having a little bit of an issue there with the connection once again. Certainly, we've seen that a couple of times, but generally stable enough that he can indeed keep racing. As right now, Brian Lockwood looking to try and make a move up into P3, but Lund, certainly, he's in the championship battle. He's at the top of the food chain, but can he stay there with Lockwood making an advance towards that podium position?
Yes, we're going to go back a little bit behind here. We got Fernando Alfonso. Fernando, he's got Matthias Kuhn. John Marandini behind him. Fernando doing a good job, up 5 positions on the day, sitting himself in 5th place. Hard charging Matthias Kuhn in behind though.
Yeah, Matthias having a very, very good run today at Sebring, obviously on his Princess Approved list, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are wondering what that is, it's kind of become a little bit of a turn of phrase now. We're starting to see it in a few more places. And I take 100% full credit for that, despite the fact
I wouldn't take
probably
credit for that.
I'm probably the ugliest princess that you've ever seen, and that's fair play. I'm not looking to win any beauty pageants, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly, when you play Monopoly and you get, you got $10 for winning the beauty contest, that's because the dog came first. As you see here, Brian Lockwood making his way up onto that final podium spot.
Yeah, Brian Lockwood getting a great exit out of Le Mans onto the Almond Straight, taking full advantage and getting himself past Garrett Lund. Garrett trying to battle back, but that move is done.
Yeah, I do have to wonder, is Lund going to fight back? Is he going to stick in behind Lockwood and try and catch up to P2 and indeed P1, the Team Blue teammates of Roger Saccharin and Declan Marsden? As I say that, looked like Lockwood carried a little bit too much speed there and taking a little bit of a detour through the grass as we go side by side a bit further back through the field. It's Matthias Kuhn, John Marandini and Mahid Rahman getting into a spicy battle here for P6.
Yeah, these guys battling very hard through the 1, 2, 3, 4 turn complex. Now they're coming up to Big Bend. Connor Bell charging hard, up 17 positions. Looks like he's about to make 18 positions, looking for 19. Can he do it? Going up into hairpin. Connor Bell up 19 positions and making that move. Great job by Connor Bell. Clean driving by all the others.
You do have to wonder if there's a little bit of intimidation factor coming around. Like, don't get me wrong, Connor Bell's a good driver, but I don't know if I'd be intimidated by him. But I say that last time I was on track with him, I literally left the door open so wide for him, he could have literally parked the car in there. As you see, a little bit of a slide there from Morandini, able to thankfully keep hold of that, as that may have upset things a little bit further behind as Matthias Kuhn and Anthony Lanassa now go side by side as they make their way round tower.
Yeah, Anthony Lanassa having himself a good battle, and it looks like Matthias Kuhn not wanting any of it. Matthias holding on, getting back in front, but these guys are going down. But now we've got Anthony Lanasa on the inside. These going alternating corners, inside to outside. It's just a matter of time, and Anthony Lanasa, 9th place, holding position.
Well, you say that now. Here comes Kuhn. He managed to get a much better exit, and he's going to be on the inside for Sunset. But don't get me wrong, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Further back, we got 3 wide, ladies and gentlemen, as well. And you see, we got Brendan Hung being the camera car. He's going to have a front row seat to see. Wow, he came in hot there. Very hot. Thankfully, able to avoid it. I thought it was going to be murder on the dance floor as they made their way around Sunset. Cairo ends further back in P12. They were 3 wide earlier. Sammy Hendricks himself and Sean Haggerty very much going at it.
This is just some insane racing. Drivers making full use of the about 10 car width of Sunset Bend and using all the track from the inside to the far outside. Sammy Hendricks now sitting in 13th place. Sammy coming up on the back of Cairo Ends. Cairo doing a good job. He's up 8 positions, trying to close up on Brendan Hung, but he's about 2 seconds back of him. Oh, we got a spin up ahead, and Matthias Kuhn. Oh, we're not doing good at calling people out here, Zippy.
Yeah, certainly that's one apiece there, Richard, as Matthias Kuhn drops back to 20th spot. Maybe, you know, he had wicked pace, but the tyres were only going to sign up for that for so long as Cairo Ends now is there, moving into P11. See what happened here with Brian Lenz here, actually, as he's currently back here, looking to try and make a move. Gets a little bit of a slide going. Beautiful drift, and thankfully able to keep it away from the wall.
Yeah, and the drivers around him all doing a good job of crash avoidance. Luckily, the car was kept on the inside. Oh, and there we see a replay of Matthias Kuhn getting up on the curbs, getting onto the throttle, maybe dipping a tire onto the dirt there. And I've done that before myself. There's nothing you can do. Once that starts going around, you're pretty much done.
Yeah, certainly. This is one of the reasons I tend to do quite well at Rallycross. I can't dip a tire in the dirt because I've already got all four over there, ladies and gentlemen. Different strategy, ladies and gentlemen. As right now, Fernando Alfonso, he's doing pretty good. He's up 5 spots, but look who's behind him, ladies and gentlemen. The hard charger machine that is Connor Bell. He's currently up 19 spots off my screen, trying to make it P20 as he's going to go side by side with Alfonso, making his way down in towards Sunset.
Connor Bell up the inside, which is the preferred line when you're trying. If you can get that inside line trying to make the pass, it's certainly easier than going way around the outside. Connor Bell getting that move done, but Fernando Alfonso holding on hard, and Mahid Rahman, interested observer, sitting there in the catbird seat in 7th.
Yeah, Bell has not managed to shake Alfonso yet, but it looks like Alfonso has to take the wider line, and basically that's going to be a door open for Mahid Rahman as he absolutely goes, thank you very much, buy one, get one free, I'll take that selection as well, as Morandini now looking to try and get involved in that freeway battle.
Yeah, we're going to pick it back up here, back in 16th position, Martin Visser. Martin having a good battle with Marco Chacon. We're coming in through the sections at 3, 4, 5, leading on to Big Ben.
Yeah, both of these drivers actually quite potent when they're having a good day indeed. We saw Visser fall down the order a little bit earlier on, and I do have to wonder if he can make his way up a little bit there, putting the nose in there more for the psychological side, definitely a couple of cars back, but we do have to wonder. We've seen the Dan Salmon Classic, ladies and gentlemen, where indeed it starts to be 1 car back, 2 cars back, and then 3 cars back, and apparently I make the move at that point.
The Dan Salmon Classic. There is a new phrase that I have not heard yet, Zippy. I'm very impressed. We got Jeremy Childers trying to hold off these guys. Jeremy's just got a 3/10-second gap, and Sammy Hendricks, though, is having himself a good little battle, holding off Cairo Ends. Cairo Ends up 8 positions, Sammy up 10 positions. And oh man, these drivers are charging hard with a little bit of the calamity up ahead as it allowed them to move up a few positions more than they have gained naturally on their own.
Certainly attrition is a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen, and you have to wonder as well. I'm actually a little bit disappointed in Hendricks. He's not managed to find anybody to bump draft yet. I'm waiting for it. Sammy, if you're listening, that's your cue, buddy. That's your cue. I'd like to see you getting on some of that action. As you see Mahid Rahman now absolutely torturing those tires, getting over the bumpy stuff there as they make their way down Sunset. Fernando Alfonso right behind. Bell's checked out. He's about 1.5 seconds up the road. But can Alfonso fight against Mahid Rahman, previous champion here at the Academy? Can Alfonso topple him off the tower?
Yeah, we shall see. Connor Bell doing a great job up 21 positions, but he's 3.8 seconds behind 4th place Garrett Lennon. Let's see if he can close that down in the remaining 9 minutes or 8 minutes left of this race. Connor Bell on a hard charge, but he's got a lot of distance to go to make up any more positions.
Yeah, if we have a quick look at lap times right now, he's running a best lap of 53.7. So yeah, he's definitely got pace. He's up there. He's one of the quickest. He is indeed the quickest guy on the track. But the margin, you know, he's not exactly catching up a second per lap. You know, he's going to have to really knuckle down and hope for some good luck if he wants to move his way up onto the podium. And indeed, try and catch up to Brian Lockwood as well. Both of those drivers maybe about a 10th in it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Connor Bell having a great race thus far, but we're going to see what else we've got going on here in terms of close battles. We've got Martin Visser. Martin sitting in 15th place. He's had that not so great start to the race for himself, but he's looking to make some places back. Down 13 positions, he's charging on Marco Chicane at this stage. Marco up 10 positions on the day.
Yeah, Marco we saw was actually incredibly handy at Spa. I don't know if Sebring's necessarily gone it as well for him, but definitely a potent driver to keep an eye on the Team Raccoon Racing there. I got to be honest, I don't generally remember team names, but I think raccoons are cute, so fair play to him. It's got my attention. As you see, Sean Haggerty now absolutely pushing it there as they're making their way through the latter part of the course. And you can see the tyres really being worked here, ladies and gentlemen. You do have to wonder as well, obviously it's quite a slick, well, it is a slick tyre. The levels of grip these cars will be pulling. Think about just how much, like, you know, load you're going to feel on that. As you're going around, you're going to feel the downforce. You can almost feel the tyre, like, rolling over the rim slightly with that much grip.
Yeah, fortunately for the racers, this is only a 20-minute sprint race. The tires are going to have plenty of grip to last through the end of the race. These tires can easily last a 40-minute race if they are taken care of half decently.
But certainly, indeed, it's definitely not the endurance round. We had that last week, and we'll see it again for round 7, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, it is indeed a sprint to the finish with just 6 minutes left to go. You see Declan Marsden is currently there in P2, looking to try and shake Lockwood at the minute, with Vijay Rajasekaran about 2 seconds clear in the lead. Yeah,
and Jeremy Childers, Jeremy having himself a good battle, still maintaining with Simon Collier. Simon is up 9 positions and looking for more, but Brian Lockwood right now in 3rd place is closing in on Declan Marsden. Brian Lockwood up 4 positions, really wants to get that 2nd position. The coach wants to take it off the student. Let's see how the student does here, Zippy.
I feel like the urge to make a Star Wars reference, but I'm not going to make a good job of it, and certainly I sound like Rob enjoyed that one a bit too much. Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell here that obviously, yeah, we need to get out more here at Pit Road Productions, and if you actually want to see us commentating in real life, I'm going to be back at Atlantic Motorsport Park on the 27th of July for the track series. Ladies and gentlemen, by all means, go check them out. Pit Road Productions is actually a sponsor of that series, so I challenge you to find another sim racing broadcaster that actually sponsors a race series. I'm willing to bet you won't find one. So definitely, if you want to get some shows, if you want to get your league covered, by all means, check us out. Send me a message on Discord, drop into our Discord, or leave a comment on the YouTube chat. I will indeed get back to you on that. But right now, you see Jeremy Childers there, currently in P15, looking to try and make some moves. He's got one of his comrades ahead of him, but right now, he's more concerned with who's behind him, the UK driver of Simon Collier.
Simon Collier applying some great pressure, going down the Almond Straight, going into Sunset, dipping a nose in the inside, and is he faking him out? No, he's not. He's actually holding along the inside line. Multiple alternate strategies here coming around Sunset. It looks like they're going to go too wide, and it looks like Jeremy Childers and Simon Collier are going to be battling down the main pit straight. Jeremy Childers hugging in the inside, now swinging to the outside, opening up that entry into the first corner. Oh, and it looks like we had to spin. Connor Bell getting by, and Declan Marsden giving up 2nd. Oh my goodness, giving up 3rd place and moving down the field rapidly.
Let's find out exactly what happened there. There's Connor Bell ahead, and you see Marsden catches a good bit of curb there, unsettles the car, and I think that may have been just enough. And you can see there, Team Green driver looking to just absolutely bail out. The off-track much preferred over devouring the front of that Formula 3 car.
Yeah, I'll take that 1X any day, Zippy, over destroying and losing the front nose, because the plastic surgeon is still backed up from previous races. Meanwhile, we're going Declan Marsden falling all the way down from 3rd place, I believe he was in, all the way down to 11th, and not what he was hoping for. Now he's going to have to battle back hard to make anything back up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that plastic surgeon, indeed, he may have been in the movie Face Off starring John Travolta, but don't get me wrong, I mean, he may have been a little bit of a hit during his Grease days, but now he's definitely a bit more of an old man, so if you do want to try and lose a nose, I'd maybe try and find a new plastic surgeon. Certainly myself, I can't compete on that kind of level, but it does look like a couple of incidents have indeed leveled out a little bit. But right now, Vijay Rajasekharan, he's expanded that 2-second gap. He's up to about 3 seconds now, having the race he's been looking for. With 3 minutes left to go. As I say that, a little bit of a nudge on the wall.
Yeah, the nice thing with the F3s is they're pretty resilient. You can rub a tire a little bit against the wall, not cause any issues. Crunching up, Brandon Hung having himself a great battle with Sammy Hendricks. Brandon Hung looking to the inside, but nothing going on right now as they come into corner 1. Sammy Hendricks sitting 9th place now.
Yeah, Sammy definitely putting in a good run so far. Nice and tight to turn 1. Not going too far out on the outside. You see Garrett Lund now getting into a battle. Connor Bell is going to be the guy looking to bring the axe to him. And don't get me wrong, we say that in a pleasant way, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to look to literally pass by beheading, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly, that's again another zippy strategy. It seems certainly if you look at some of the race history here. But you see right now, Connor Bell very much on the push, looking to try and make his way up onto the podium. And just one driver stands in his way, the number 30 of Garrett Lund.
Yeah, we weren't sure if Connor had that pace that he needed to get up onto the podium, but a little bit of help from Declan Marsden and some great pace from Connor Bell. He's now battling hard. I think we're down to just a lap or 2 remaining here at most, so this is going to be a good close battle going all the way to the finish, I think.
Absolutely, indeed. As you see here, Bell is definitely not going to go for too high risk. Up 21 positions, ladies and gentlemen. But, oh dear, it's telling me that Rajasekharan has got a meatball flag. We do have to wonder, and he's dropped back as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Rajasekharan, your race leader, he was 3 seconds ahead. He's now showing us 4/10 of a second ahead. Something has happened. I think hitting the wall may have indeed been enough. Not as resilient as Richard first hoped. And now Rockwood's going to absolutely... Is he going to try and push him over the line? Is he hanging back? Like, I'm curious to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, we will find out, and it looks like Brian Lockwood going up the inside, the white flag coming out from Barney, and wow, I was a little bit wrong. It didn't look like he touched that hard, but Brian Lockwood just easily easing by, but Rajasekharan trying to battle back with a wounded car, and he doesn't have anything for him. Hopefully he can get through this, and I believe he's just a few enough laps that meatball flag he will be able to finish without penalty.
Yeah, I've never been too sure on the iRacing regulations on that side. Certainly, I've definitely picked up a few meatballs myself. Definitely not meatball flags, more of a I just like to eat, ladies and gentlemen. As you see right now, we have a new race leader of the number 28, Brian Lockwood. Connor Bell there in 3rd, and I do have to wonder, 2.3 seconds left. Is it going to be enough? Can Bell catch up there? As you see him there, a little bit of a replay making his move on Garrett Lund as they head down into Sunset.
It's been an interesting race, this 3rd race, Zippy. We've seen a lot of crashes. We've seen a lot of incidents. Unfortunate for Vijay Rajasekharan having himself a dominating performance, and then that little brush against the wall looks like he's done his chance of victory and taken that away.
Yeah, definitely. It was one of those scenarios with low risk, high reward. While it might be nice to just get quicker and quicker and quicker, if you're out there in the race lead, it almost becomes like you want to slow down a little bit. Just manage the car, manage the tires, manage the situation. And I do wonder if that's exactly what's caught out the number 12 of Rajasekharan. That's right now Declan Marsden there looking to try and make some moves. Simon Collier, though, back in P16, trying to get one up here on Jeremy Childers, fighting for 15th place.
Yeah, we've still got battles up and down the field. We're on the last lap here. Official time has ended, and Brian Lockwood now has got himself a commanding 3-second lead, and Vijay Rajasekharan now is in the clutches of Connor Bell. Connor Bell just passing him by like he's standing still, it looks like. And really, we got to look out for Garrett Lund. Is Garrett Lund going to have enough? But Brian Lockwood coming around Sunset Bend. Brian Lockwood looking to take victory. The coach is showing the students how it's done.
Yeah, I got to say, I'm all for some good rivalry, but I got to admit, Connor Bell would be my driver of the day there. He made up an incredible 23, 22 positions there, as it looks like Rajasekharan was indeed able. Nope, Bell got him at the end, ladies and gentlemen. See the timing scoring update, and Rajasekharan did manage to hold on for P3. They're showing they may have disconnected on my side. I can have to see what happens with the results, ladies and gentlemen, having that meatball flag. As we got a spinner in the final corner, Jeremy Childers, my friend. That is not the line you want to do, as he's almost entered the pit lane, trying to get the car recovered there. He's going to definitely drop a few positions there at the end. Thankfully, a bit of clean air, he can bring it over and across the line. It is indeed not over, as Brian Lenz making his way around. Thankfully, Childers up and out of the way. Definitely a rough rate when the race there for number 7 car.
Yeah, I think it was a rough race for a bunch of drivers here today, Zippy, and Amin Al-Shahid not having the race he wanted either. I mean, it all really started with Yan Yan Cheek not getting the car in gear at the start. We lost Liam Benfels and him at the very start, corner 1 and 2. We lost a couple more drivers, and luckily enough, we had a bunch of racers having some good races, allowing us to continue on for the 20-minute feature.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got another interesting comment in the chat. More so the username. We're not going to say it here on the chat, but it's definitely it's a good one, ladies and gentlemen. It gave me a bit of a smile. As we have a look at our results here. Our producer now, you can't hear him, but he is sniggering away quite content, ladies and gentlemen. The only man who's ever belched on a broadcast, so it definitely rung home to him. But Brian Lockwood takes the P1 Connor Bell in second, making an absolutely incredible drive through the field. 24 positions gained. Lockwood managed to gain 6, but I've got to say, Bell, take my hat off to you on that one. Incredible drive. Ratchet Sakaran getting caught out of the meatball at the end. Still shows us third place, so hopefully that is indeed the official result, with Garrett Lander in 4th, Mahid Rahman in 5th, Fernando Alfonso takes 6th, with John Morandini in 7th, Ampling Lanassa in 8th. You can see there, Garrett Lander getting a few points back there off Lanassa. Sammy Hendricks takes 9th, with Brenton Hung, the Hong Kong driver, in 10th.
Yeah, then we had Declan Marsden with this little incident there, moving all the way back to 11th. Cairo ends in 12th, followed by Sean Haggerty in 13th. Martin Visser in 14th, followed by Simon Collier in 15th. Then we have Matthias Kuhn in 16th, followed by Adam Inca in 17th. Jeremy Childers, Brian Lency, Marco Chacon round out the top 20.
As we have a look at 21st, Amin Al-Shari takes 21st with Kevin Adrian. Definitely not the day he was looking for there. Hopefully he'll have a little bit more success in his other races this weekend. He's there in 22nd. Yan Yan Chi getting caught up in that incident there, which sadly killed out Leon Bentbelsen as well. Certainly the cheerleading section was indeed not thrilled with that scenario. With Kane Halliburton in 25th, Ran San Miguel in 26th, and Joel Singleton there in 27th. But let's have a catch up with a couple of these drivers, and we don't usually get the coaches involved, but you know what, Connor, after doing a 24 place gain there, how on earth did you accomplish that?
Well, I have to say I was trying my absolute hardest. I'm sweating pretty hard right now. It's just a testament to how quick these drivers are. I was really having to work for it, especially at the end there with Garrett and John and VJ, a couple of those drivers in the top 5-10. So yeah, that was a tough one. Had to work for it, but 1-2 for the coaches.
Yeah, definitely a good result here for the coaches, and fair play. But Connor, as one of the lead people here at the Almeida Academy, certainly, you know, people ask us, how do you join the league and stuff like that? Now, I have been saying, you know, you got to be a member and stuff like that. Can you tell us a few more information, a few more like tidbits about, you know, the perks of being a member? And I believe you would be one of them, in the nicest possible way.
Yeah, so there's plenty of perks in terms of the membership. You know, we have weekly workshops, actually 3 per week. I think now we're up to, you know, in the mid-20s workshop-wise. So all the old ones get uploaded onto the portal. You can rewatch them. It goes from anything from the basics of car control to racecraft, to some of the mental aspects, everything like that. We have weekly racecraft practice, which we call pit parties. You know, there's the whole community aspect of it, making friends here, getting faster together, working together, all that stuff. There's the challenges, a whole lot of things. I'm probably forgetting a bunch, but that just tells you how much value there is for the $25 a month. So if anybody's interested in signing up, you can go to almeidaracingacademy.com/membership.
Certainly, and indeed, I've actually watched some of the footage actually, and for instance, they'll say they're practicing, you know, how to squeeze your opponent. They will actually go out and try it, and the coaches will walk you through it. I've seen the video footage of it, and it looks incredibly good. And certainly, I was mixed feelings about you guys learning that, because I always felt that was sort of something I kept in my back pocket. But Connor, I got to say, incredible drive as well. We'll let you hang out in the interview booth. I feel that you've definitely earned that. But the question is, who do we bring in next? Well, I do actually want to have a chat with this gentleman here. Certainly, he is indeed the crowd favorite, Leon Bentvelsen. Certainly a mixed result for you, getting caught up a little bit at the start. But let's focus a bit more on some of your successes you had here today in the Almeida Racing League.
Yeah, maybe that's better. Yeah.
Well, if we have a quick look here, Leon, let's see exactly what you managed to achieve. Certainly some good times indeed. And again, a huge thank you for the crowd for the crowd that you brought with us. But what did you think here of Sebring?
Yeah, Sebring is a really tough track. It's really fun, but it's so easy to get caught out on grip levels with all the bumps. It's just shifting throughout the whole corner. So that's making it really hard to get on the limit everywhere.
That's definitely very, very valid indeed, and I'm sure Connor's definitely got a bit of insight on that. But definitely a rough result for you. But we're going to let you go for now. Certainly a P4 you did manage to achieve there. Definitely a little bit unfortunate in that last race. But Leon, we wanted to get you in here as well. Hopefully we'll see you from your cheerleading section again next week.
Thanks. Yeah, they probably will. See you guys. Have a good one.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Rich, who have you been able to catch up with?
I'm not sure, Zippy.
There you go.
we caught up with Anthony Lanasa, our race 1 winner. Congratulations on the victory in race 1, Anthony. The other races didn't go quite to plan, but how did the day go for you, and what do you think of Sebring's racing tonight?
I think it was good. I mean, race 1 was kind of a little uneventful for me. I kind of had a good start, little battle with VJ in the beginning, and then was able to just kind of manage the pace and keep myself off track, which really is not easy on Sebring with these curbs and these bumps. And then second race, I think one of my big weaknesses is overtaking, and I think it was exposed in race 2. Just pace was okay, but just had trouble committing to moves around people. And then race 3 had a little unfortunate incident on the first lap that I think just damaged my front wing a little bit. So any fast left-hander, such as turn 1, I was down on pace pretty significantly. But overall, I'm happy. I think this is my largest points haul of the weekend so far, and so I'm happy, and I finally got a win. So no bad news here.
Well, I love the attitude. I mean, when you finish first in race 1, you're really happy, and you're looking for more. But we can't always be on the podium every race. So congratulations on your good results today and your best weekend of the season. So I look forward to seeing you next week, Anthony. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, and thank you guys for all the work you do on the broadcast.
I get a huge big thank you there to Anthony Lanasa, P1. Where's it gone? P1, P6, and P8. Fantastic stuff. But we are going to catch up with one more driver before we bring this to a close. It was your championship leader, certainly in split 1 going into this race. And it's fair to say, after a haul like that, a P1, a P3, and a P9, definitely nothing to shake a stick at. But VJ, I got to ask, what happened at the end of that final race?
I mean, I was just trying to go for the fastest lap, a little ego boost, if you will. I mean, but I didn't have the tires at the end, and slid out of the last corner and hit the wall. I tried to hold on to it, but yeah, just stupid from my part. But overall, the execution this weekend, it wasn't too great from my part, because in qualifying, I just went off of turn 1 almost all the laps, except for the one I actually set. Should have been P1. And in the first race, I think I got hit from behind by Garrett, and that gave me wing damage and rear wing damage, and it was just, the car was really oversteering in every corner. I was trying to keep up with Anthony, but it was just, and got a bit too ambitious and spun in the last corner, because trying to carry too much speed into it. But that's pretty much it.
Well, definitely a learning experience for you. And certainly, you know what, you've had some fantastic results despite a couple of challenges along the way. Definitely a fantastic points haul, 2 podiums, a win being one of them. Certainly nothing to shake a stick at there. I'd definitely go away with my head held high. But VJ, before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to shout out?
The coaches. They've done an amazing job. I mean, the racing is really close now, and everyone's getting there. This weekend I was kind of expecting to be, a bit faster, but everyone's actually really quick. Got blindsided a bit, if I'm being honest. It's mostly because of the coaches, and I am where I am because of them as well. I mean, so Elio, this platform is just, the amount of work that's being put into it is really something. And other than that, everyone, was really close today. It was really quick, and yeah, I mean, everyone's, there or thereabouts. So going into the next few weekends, it's going to be a bit tough, and it has to be perfect from everyone's side if anyone hopes to, win, or,
Well, definitely
do good.
some very valid words there from VJ Rajasakarana. He came in leading split one, and I got a feeling he's still going to be up there. A huge congratulations to you. BJ, we're going to leave you there for now, but I'm going to say we're probably going to bring this show to a close as well. We do indeed thank you all for watching, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute belter of a race. We're going to be heading over to Fuji for the next round, if my mind is not mistaken. But I got to say, fantastic stuff here. And again, if you want to get involved, you've just seen the guy who's currently leading top split. You just spoke to him, VJ Rajasakarana. If you want to get into this race, and if you want to get into this league and start getting faster, ladies and gentlemen, you know how to do it. You spoke to Connor, you spoke to VJ, you've had that experience, and certainly if you've ever seen me drive, you can tell that you definitely need to get in and get that training, ladies and gentlemen. Start to take it from being a hobby almost to a bit more than that. Take it to being a profession, a skill, a talent, a set of skills. And then not only that, I mean, some of the stuff that you learn through here, it's not just about driving. You're going to learn like a bit of self-discipline as well, and stuff like that, the mental side that you can actually transfer into other things. So think of it as an investment, ladies and gentlemen, to better yourself, better your driving. But I think that's just about going to wrap it up for here. Certainly, it's been an absolute belter of a race, ladies and gentlemen, here on Pit Road Productions. And indeed, if you're watching on Swelly Almeida's channel, a huge warm welcome to you as well. Definitely hit that like and subscribe button. But that's going to be it from us. Myself, Daniel Zippy Salmon on the commentary, joined by the one and only Mr. Richard Swindales, and at the production booth and quietly giggling in my ear every now and again as well, Rob the Goatee Campbell. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
The Almeida Racing League is growing fast. Hundreds of drivers, multiple splits, broadcasted races, and it's not just about individual winning, it's a team championship. You race with your own squad, you learn how to compete, and you grow together. And we don't throw you into the races blindly. Every week, we help you prepare with pit parties to train side-by-side battles, workshops with live coaching, 20 driving challenges with full tutorials, and even group raids into official iRacing races after the league night. For just $25 a month, this is the most complete training experience in sim racing. Join us as a member today to start your advanced training and racing with us. I'll see you on track.